I want to share some personal insight and experience that I've had with everybody. It might be of some help for people out there. 3 and a bit years ago, I left a very large corporation and started my own business. And what I did was replicate what I was doing there, which was going out and selling to large corporations. And I had very limited success with this, and that was because people had never heard of me. So even though I had the skill set to do it, I didn't have the brand and the name that sat behind me. Now, I have an approach, a piece of advice if you like, that I like to call small gods. Now, for anyone that knows Terry Pratchett out there, he's a very famous fantasy author, if you like. He does some really good parodies of our world, but just in his own fantasy world, if you like. And he's got a book called Small Gods. And the premise of Small Gods is that there's hundreds of different gods walking the planet of the Discworld, as he calls it in his books. But to be a bigger god, you need more people to hear you. So it's literally a parallel that says you're this size of a god, and then when people start hearing your voice, you become bigger and bigger. And it got me to thinking about some of the mistakes that I made in the first couple of years of doing business. And that is that if you take that small gods mentality, you need more voices to actually hear you. So what you should do when you start business is go smaller and target businesses that would be willing to listen to you, so that then you can build up a repertoire of testimonials, past customer success. Then as you get bigger, you've got more of these voices, you've been heard by more people, so you can effectively move up to the next run of corporations. And then you can eventually get up to large corporations if that's the type of sell that you want to do. And this was an approach that I used. I mean, it was a revelation, some might say a basic revelation that I had after starting my business. And it was very much trial and error. I didn't have ThinkIt, I didn't have the ThinkIt mentoring program. I just had a business-to-business proposition that I wanted to get out there, and I was making mistakes. And my mistakes were that I had the skill set, but I didn't have the voice. I didn't have people that had heard me behind it. So what I did was build up a number of customers and testimonials, then started going to larger corporations. And the tactic worked really successfully. So I just want to share that piece of advice with you. Take the small gods approach, it's much more effective.